Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In front of you is the 2018 County of Bruce Business Plan. In front of you is the 2018 County of Bruce Business Plan for the Department of Health Services. This is the first year that this plan has been combined to include Bruce Lee Haven, Gateway Haven, and the paramedic services. So you'll begin to experience some of the synergies that we're looking towards to build within the department, as well as some of the changes in as much as this speaks to many things instead of the purity of the homes and the paramedic service. The plan that is before you is a conservative one. The plan focuses on sharing issues and exploring solutions jointly between all elements of the department. We are also this year concentrating on finishing work that we have begun, and what you will see is 5 initiatives, 3 of which are operational and 2 which are capital in nature. The KPIs that you see in front of you have been distilled from the previous documents, both for long-term care and the paramedic services, and we do not anticipate to see any slippage in these, and as we also see the value of maintaining these as our general indicators for performance for the department. As you can see, the response times remain essentially the same, and if I can draw your attention to where the issue of 4 of 6 are met. These are compliance issues regarding time, which continually pose a geographic challenge simply because of the distance that some of the callers can be away from the responding units. There is another layer of KPI that has historically been presented with homes, and we've retained it here because of the specialty of those organizations. And this speaks to the indicators which Council has valued before, speaking to the different types of challenges which present within the long-term care homes. The 5 initiatives are before you. The first 3 are operative, and the other 2 are capital in nature. The first one is to complete our work on the centralized scheduling for the Department of Health Services. This work is underway now, and we will be continuing it within 2018 so that Bruce Lee Haven, Gateway Haven, and paramedic services can share one facility to deal with all of the scheduling challenges that currently are presented to them. The second initiative, which is operative, is concentrating on making sure that we gather the synergies and leveraging opportunities between the 3 existing organizations by enhancing our training and education programs, by sharing those experiences in a joint clinical education group between paramedic services and the 2 homes, the implementing of a centralized clinical operations outcome monitoring process or daily report so that we know what's happening throughout the department, ensuring the timely creation and sharing of quality improvement initiatives in both homes and within the paramedic service by the development of a clinical quality improvement committee, letting us to share both issues and solutions regarding patient care. The 4th initiative is quite large, though basic. It is basically developing a governance and oversight process for the new department, which will allow us to address common issues of safety, fiscal responsibility, human resource issues, and opportunities such as recruitment and retention, as well as reducing costs. The 3rd initiative is enhancing our peer support system. This was an initiative that was brought forward by the county's mental wellness and departmental efforts regarding post-traumatic stress. This work we will continue and enlarge so that we can be dealing with our colleagues in long-term care who have a number of challenges in this area. The two capital projects that we'll be addressing will be the replacement of the communication systems at Gateway. This is ongoing work. We hope to craft an RFP. We've just done an assessment this year on what we need, and that's currently under review with a group of within administration to see what our next steps would be. The Port Elgin station, we have an initiative to replace that station, and as such we'll be moving towards footprint and architectural drawings in 2018 to help mature that project. That, sir, is an overview of the business plan for Department of Health Services.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, we now have three business units to go through. I'll be starting with Paramedic Services Operational, going to Capital, then Gateway Operational, then to Capital, Bruce Lee Operational, then to Capital. There we go. Thanks very much. Mr. Chairman, the paramedic 2018 operational budget is in front of you, and this is our dashboard. We have 4 programs within paramedic services. One, EMS administration, which constitutes support, salary, benefits, and materials and contract services for that area. Paramedic operations, which is salary, staff-related costs, materials, fleet, facility, support costs for this section of the department. And emergency measures, which funds salaries and provides wages and contract services and materials to support this part of the department. The following comments relate to the dashboard, which is currently projected in front of you. You will note that there are no transfers in this year's budget. The budget increase is 4.5%, and the following increases of the 2018 paramedic services budget have been put in place to maintain services. Administration at a cost or a 4.4% increase, paramedic operations at a 3.1% increase, and emergency measures at a 4.3% increase. I will be taking you, ladies and gentlemen, through this grid, which will account for what these monies are being apportioned to in the proposed 2018 budget. With regards to wages, salaries, and benefits, a $261,862 increase in the cost of salaries and wages has been proposed. The increases are due to primarily to salary increases negotiated by OPSU. This 2018 increase does not include the elevation of the Chesley Station to a 24/7 operational unit. Staff-related costs, a proposed increase of $2,629 to maintain travel, uniform, and staff training levels. The cost will be offset by a $2,000 savings from the 2018 retirement and special service awards, where we will be saving funds from these initiatives. Contract services will increase $15,346 to maintain services in the area of legal and computer software licensure and maintenance services. In materials, you will see a $12,000 reduction in costs of materials. This is due in part to last year's requirements to upgrade equipment to meet provincial standards, suction units, and stair chairs. This work has now been completed, and there is no longer a requirement for these funds. There are no transfer grants or financial changes, as these are not applicable to paramedic services. Fleet costs, it is recommended to increase the account by $20,000 to cover an increase of fuel and vehicle maintenance in order to maintain service. Facility costs, an increase of $4,650 is presented. This is due to the need to increase or an increase in utilities, estimated at 4%, and an increase in our snow plow or our snow removal services. With regards to revenues, there is no provincial or no federal funding. At this time, paramedic services is yet to be advised as to what provincial funding will be provided to it in 2017-18. Given the pending revisions to the ambulance legislation, new requirements for paramedics recertification, and the inordinately late notification for 2018 funding, we have assumed no increase in this area until we are officially notified of a change. Last year, with regards to using our own funds, last year $35,000 was transferred from reserves to purchase ambulance equipment as a result of change standards put forth by the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. This equipment has been purchased, and there is no longer, no further need for reserve funding at this time. We have no fees for service, no donations, and no fines or other expenses. Sir, if there's no questions, I can move on to the capital budget.
Yep, move on. I think you want to click on that one for
Just, there we go.
I'm still learning too.
Pardon me?
I'm still learning too.
Yeah. The capital budget for paramedic services proposes a...
Oh, Kelly has something?
Sorry, Mr. Chair, we just need to interrupt because we've lost our live streaming.
Oh.
And I think given what we're doing, not the live streaming, but the visual of the report. So Darlene's just going to get IT to see what we need to do to get it back online. Sorry.
Do you want to sing a song? Oh, yeah. No, not today. Paul would like to ask a question. Go ahead, sure.
Just, Michael, thank you I just picked up on something there. I'm not so sure what that meant, and I just want to clarify it. When we were talking about the wages and benefits lines in EMS operations, you mentioned that there was no additional funds there for the Chesley station for the 24/7. And was that, and don't get me wrong, I'm not concerned one way or the other too much about it, but was that your way of saying that's not going to happen now, or is that still happening, just there's not funds there?
No, sir, I'm just saying that it's not being addressed in this budget.
Pardon?
I'm sorry, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it's not being addressed in this budget.
Okay, very good. So it's going to happen, it's just the dollars aren't put in the budget yet.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to Councillor Eagleson, right now this pass does not have it in. We would come back, depending on the feedback from committee for the budget, to determine whether or not it can be funded. We have priced it, and it's approaching a $400,000 ticket item to increase that station to 24/7.
So I guess I was under the understanding that decision was made. We are increasing that station to 24/7. Now I'm hearing today that it's still up in the air.
Sorry, through you, Mr. Chair, the committee did make pass the resolution. They passed it in June, and for this pass to committee, it has not been included because of the size of the ticket item. It will come back to committee for consideration. Yeah.
Can people still hear us though, Kelly?
Sorry, yes, Mr. Chair, they can hear us.
So why don't we continue on and then,
Okay.
yeah.
So the team in IT are doing it behind the scenes, so it should, it's back online.
There they are.
we
The
go.
team are very efficient, aren't they?
Mr. Chair, the Paramedic Services 2018 capital presentation is as follows. Capital budget for the Paramedic Services proposes a transfer to reserves of $347,000 and a transfer from reserves of $140,000. Currently, the reserve balance for paramedic services stands at $432,687. The 5-year forecast overview for this department, currently there are 2 maintenance projects which are focused on paramedic system management. All elements of this forecast are based on the maintenance of service theme. These 2 projects are maintain the vehicle replacement cycle, building the reserves necessary to construct the Port Elgin station on or about 2019. Summary of the budget table, sir, is equipment is defined as those items which range from clinical to non-clinical. Technology communications, these items are data management telecommunications devices which do not fall under the IT services budget. Vehicles and machinery, these facilitate emergency response and patient transport services. Furniture and fixtures are those elements used in base stations and administrative offices. Buildings, these items pertain to the design of buildings and facilities. Furniture and others support to the essential functions of the building. The proposed capital expenditures for the paramedic service in 2018 are, under equipment, power stretcher loading systems for 2 new ambulances, which will be delivered in 2018. Technological and communications. This section will include vehicle laptop replacements to accelerate a 3-year replacement cycle due to increasing keyboard failures and repair costs at $90,000. Vehicle and machinery, the replacement of 2 ambulances and 1 emergency response vehicle, $400,000, and the replacement of worn furniture in the base stations at $7,500. In order to move forward with the Port Elgin station replacement, site planning and architectural work will be needed to be contracted out at $50,000. It is proposed the capital expenditures noted above with the cost of $652,500 and the transfer to reserves of $347,400 be accepted as the total expenditures for the paramedic services 2018 budget. These costs will be balanced by a transfer of $140,000 from paramedic services revenue reserve, leaving a net levy requirement of $859,900. So that brings me to the end of the presentation on paramedic capital.
Any questions on the capital side of things? Hearing none.
Mr. Chairman, moving on to the Gateway operating budget.
I think you have to double click it.
Double click it.
Yeah. And then just go down here and click it once. There you go.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, we are now, the photo is offline, and with your indulgence, we'll just continue to record, and Darlene is sending a note to IT.
Okay.
The Gateway Haven program has 6 programs identified within it. Administration, which supports salaries and benefits, materials and services, and contractual services for that area. Program and support, which maintains client services and behavioral support Ontario, physiotherapy, recreational, dietary, consulting services. Dietary funds staff salary and wages, contractual service, materials and services for that section. Nursing provides wages and benefits, contractual services, materials necessary to support the various scopes of nursing services at Bruce Lee Haven. Other accommodations, in this area we fund housekeeping, laundry, building and property operations. Raw Foods consists of materials and services which provide essentially our groceries to Bruce Lee Haven. The following comments relate to the dashboard, which is currently projected in front of you. There is no proposed transfers from the Gateway reserves for 2018. Budget increase totals 4.1%, while administration will reduce its 2018 operating budget by 1.8%. The following increases are proposed for the 2018 Gateway budget in order to maintain services. Program and support, 1.2%, dietary, 3.6%, nursing, 1.5%, and accommodation, 3.2%. A special note regarding Raw Foods. This contract or the contract for supplying both homes with raw foods is currently been tendered. And as such, the results of this process will need to be reported to council when the process is concluded.
Capital. Do you want capital?
Nope, I need to go back to gateway operations. Thanks.
I think my missing that. It looks like it happened on one of the other ones too. I think you're looking for a tab that we just, if you can just give me 2 seconds, I think. You're looking for the analysis total?
Yep.
And I think it's hidden.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
That's what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, while we're just finding that, I'm just looking at the admin operating at -1, at -1.8. What was the, I'm just trying to find it, but I can't.
Yeah.
I didn't find it.
Through you, Mr. Chair, that is the impact of the reorganization with the okay. Okay.
Mr. Chair, I'll be taking you down through this list of expenditures by type. With regards to salary and benefits, at $113,340, the total cost increases for salaries, employment benefits, and WSIB for all existing staff with no additional positions. These increases are due primarily to salary increases negotiated with Unifor and ONA. For staff-related costs, a decrease of $800 reflects of $800 reflects an increase in training for staff in the area of wound care. Contractual services have increased $4,219 to support professional services. Purchase services, including dietary specialist, a home physician, and equipment maintenance. There are no transfer grants or financial charges applied to Gateway. There are no fleet costs. Facility costs, an increase of $16,864 is proposed to maintain services in the provision of grounds and buildings, to maintain, to conduct seal maintenance and line painting in the parking lot and roof repairs at $12,400, and grounds contracting, Otis maintenance for the elevators and other contractors at a total cost of $4,464. Thank you.
I heard you.
With regards to revenues, based on the CAST mix index and previous funding envelopes, the 2018 budget proposes a provincial subsidy conditional for $86,858. In addition, a number of smaller subsidies totaling $12,180, totaling $99,038. The funding, which we will be taking from our own funds, will be reduced by $1,200 from last year. There are no donations projected for this year, no fines that are anticipated. There is one consideration under other. 2018 will see a reduction of $11,400 from the 2017 budget due to the loss of a commercial client inside Bruce Lee Haven. Brings us to the end of the presentation of the operational piece on Gateway.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. Double click, yeah. Just go back down there again. That's not even you doing anything.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay. Because you weren't touching anything.
So through you, Mr. Chair, it is back on now.
Good to go. Mr. Chair, the capital budget for Gateway Haven proposes to transfer two reserves of $140,524 and to transfer some reserves of $73,000. Currently, the reserve balance for long-term care homes stands at $1,303,940. Currently, regarding the five-year forecast, currently two principal maintenance projects are the focus of the Gateway management team. All elements of this forecast are based on a maintenance of service theme. The two projects are the replacement of carpet, second and third floors in 2019, and the building of reserves for kitchen, flooring, furniture, and courtyard refurbishment. Mr. Chair, I'll be taking you down through column L with regards to the summary of the budget.
Just click on this little star right there.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you. Gateway Haven has two capital categories. One is equipment, which ranges from therapeutic to clinical and non-clinical support materials, and building items which pertain to furniture required to support the building's function as a home for its residents. The capital expenditures for 2018 are equipment, the replacement of a tub, which would be the fourth in a series of 4, 2 lifts, 8 laundry carts, and beds and mattresses, and a floor scrubber at a total of $94,500. The building of a shade structure off of 2 West, carpet replacement for the first floor and meeting rooms, as well as the provision of nightstands and some furniture for specific areas of the home at $60,000. It is proposed that the capital expenditures noted above will cost $154,500 and that a transfer to reserves of $140,524 be accepted as the total expenditures for the Gateway 2018 capital budget. These costs will be balanced by the transfer of $73,000 from the long-term care home reserve, leaving a net levy requirement of $222,024. Sir, that's the capital presentation for Bruce, or Gateway.
Questions? Hearing none. You have to double click again. Oh, don't touch.
Don't do that one, don't do that one.
After all this work to be done by a computer.
Yeah, we don't want to go into that.
You don't want to go there. That's a bad place.
That's
Okay.
a bad place. If you just.
That's a bad
You
place.
just have to double.
I apologize for
double-click.
this.
There.
There we go. Briefly, Mr. Chairman, the operating budget for this area. There are 6 programs that we'll be discussing in, or that exist in Bruce Lee Haven. Administration, which supports salaries, benefits, and materials and contracts for their area. Program and support services, which maintain the same services as in Gateway Haven. Behavioral support, Ontario, physiotherapy, recreation, and dietary consulting services. Dietary, fund staff and salary wages, contract services, materials, and services for this section. Nursing provides wages, benefits, contractual services, and materials necessary to support the various scopes of practice in Bruce Lee Haven. Other accommodations, funding in this area are housekeeping, laundry, building, and property operations. Raw Foods consists of those services which provide groceries to Bruce Lee Haven. The following comments relate to the dashboard, which is projected in front of you. A reserve transfer of $44,500 is being considered to support the clinical policy advancement. To be clear, discussions which have occurred since the release of this budget, or this draft budget, point to this amount being pulled back with no impact to the levy. The budget increase of 1.6% proposed for Bruce Lee Haven. Administration will reduce its 2018 operating costs by 3.2%. The following increases are proposed for the 2018 Bruce Lee budget in order to maintain services. Program and support, 2.2%. Dietary, 1.2%. Nursing, 4.1%. And other accommodations, 0.3%. The same condition applies regarding raw foods. The contract for supplying both homes with raw foods is currently under tender, and as such, we will be bringing the results of this process back to report to Council.
Oh, Kelly?
If I may, Mr. Chair, just before Michael moves on to the total department, again, you'll see the reduction under the administration operating cost, which is the other side, again, of the restructuring that was done in January of 2017.
Sir, I'll be taking down through the expenditures by type and description, as well as describing what funding is being apportioned this year. These, I'll be speaking specifically to the change over the 2017 budget, as noted in column A. With regards to salary, wages, and benefits, $261,862 is the total cost of increases for salary, benefits, and WSIB for all the existing staff under contracted agreements with Unifor and ONA. A staff-related cost reduction of $544 will be, it relates to a reduction in travel, and contract services, an increase of $6,845, speaks to an increase in equipment maintenance and the purchase of services. Material has been discussed with, as I mentioned previously, since the release of the draft budget. This $34,000 was largely related to the development of clinical policy, and we see the opportunity to pull some of these funds back. There are some $6,000 in increases to materials associated with nursing. There are no grants, no transfers, no capital addressed in this document. The fleet costs have been decreased by $1,000 as we're using other telecommunications means to have meetings. Facility costs, the reduction of $11,000 is due to savings in utility savings. With regards to funding, provincially, based on the case mix index and previous funding envelopes, the 2018 budget projects $116,201 to be received in 2018. With regards to own funds, a transfer of $44,500 has been considered to support the clinical policy development. We have discussed this, and this is the same process where we believe we can reduce this cost, remove this cost, and but this will have no impact on the levy. Fees and services, it is anticipated that an additional $99,968 in revenue will be realized this year from the Bruce Lee resident fees and services. Based on the last 3 years of donations, we believe it's appropriate to anticipate $7,500 in donations in 2018. No fines or other considerations present here, sir. Okay. And that brings me to the end of that piece.
Questions? Paul?
Just curiosity, Michael, that was looking at both of Bruce Lee and Gateway's capital, and we heard about carpet and kitchen repairs and this and that. Whatever become of the siding? Like, we were concerned a year ago about windowsills rotting, and is that, or have we done like a repair that'll get us down the road a few more years?
Mr. Chair, that topic has been active. We've received a consultant's report giving us several recommendations as to how to address the issue. That's currently under review, and we'll be bringing a report back to council as soon as we finish that study.
Well, I'm pleased it's getting looked after. I think keeping a dry roof on a building and some siding that the water doesn't get in and start putting mold down is a lot more important to me than new carpets here and there and all over the place. I hope it's, I know that you'll do a good job of looking after that. Thank you.
Anything else? Hearing none.
1 out of 7.
Just hit that one again. I like watching the ladies get up and jump around. You can tell Darlene has grandchildren.
Mr. Chair, the following is a Bruce Lee Haven 2018 capital presentation. Before you have our dashboard. This proposes a transfer to reserves of $92,000 and a transfer from reserves of $146,148. Currently, the reserve balance for long-term care homes stands at $1,303,940. Our 5-year forecast overview, there are currently 4 projects that are the focus of Bruce Lee Haven's management team's 5-year collective or capital forecast. All elements of this forecast are based on a maintenance of service theme. These 4 projects are the yearly replacement of appliances in 1 unit and the replacement of resident room furniture, night tables, chair, TV stand in 1 unit or 24 rooms. Each year, replace the appliances in common areas in each of the 6 homes areas or the common home areas for the residents, fridge, stove, microwave. And each year, replace aging lifts and vital signs nursing technology. Mr. Chair, I'll be taking you down through column L, accounting for the requests in these various areas. With regards to equipment, the replacement of tubs on 3 units of Bruce Lee Haven at a cost of $87,848. This will be the last of 6 tubs, 3 of which were replaced last year, required to maintain proper bathing facilities for the residents. In addition, the purchase of 3 heating carts, $13,500, to be used by the dietary department to transport food to the units from the kitchen so they will remain hot. Technology, the purchase of 3 iPads, $5,000 for the dietary department, 1 for each servery so those working in those areas can easily access menu information for residents and make changes as necessary. Furniture and fixtures, to purchase from the Macintosh Reserve Fund, 6 adjustable tables, $7,800, 1 per dining room to assist each of the 4 residents at the table to have each of their individual needs met. Building, interior, $37,000. For the replacement of 1 unit of rooms, of 24 rooms. It is proposed that the capital expenditures noted in the above costs of $151,148 and the transfer to reserves of $92,000 be accepted at the total expenditures for the Bruce Lee Haven 2018 capital. These costs to be balanced with a transfer of $146,148 from the long-term care reserve, leaving a net levy requirement of $97,000. Sir, that's the presentation for the operating section.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions? Hearing none.
think we're done.
Good. Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Chair, may we have just a 5-minute comfort break before we go into social services?